Vehicles carrying the remains of footballer Diogo Jota arrived early Friday morning to be placed in a chapel of rest in his hometown of Gondomar. According to Associated Press, the Portuguese soccer player was killed in a car crash in Spain. The Spanish Civil Guard confirmed to the Associated Press that Jota, 28, and his 25-year-old brother, André Silva, were found dead near the northwestern city of Zamora, after the car they were driving crashed on an isolated stretch of highway just after midnight on Thursday. Police were investigating the causes. They said there were no other vehicles involved. Their bodies were repatriated to Portugal after being identified by the family, Spanish government officials said. Family and friends of the Liverpool forward and his brother gathered at the church where their bodies were brought for a wake and funeral. Some hugged and wept before entering the Capela de Resurico São Cosme, near the Portuguese city of Porto, where the funeral for the siblings is expected to be Saturday. Jota's death comes weeks after he married Ruth Cardoso while on vacation from a long season where he helped Liverpool win the Premier League title. He leaves behind 3 children, the youngest born last year. Jota played for Liverpool and Portugal's national team. Jota joined Liverpool from Wolves in 2020 and won 3 major trophies with the Merseyside club. Silva played with Portuguese club Penafiel in the lower divisions.
Já deve estar bom. E vais falar então? Ao ombro? É, ao ombro.
A gasoline tank exploded early on Friday in southeast Rome, injuring at least 9 people including 8 police officers and a firefighter, police and rescuers said. According to Associated Press, the explosion was heard across the Italian capital shortly after 8 a.m., with a huge cloud of dark smoke and fire visible from several areas of the city. Elisabetta Accardo, a spokesperson for the Roman police, said that 8 police officers were injured after arriving for rescue operations. Spokesman Luca Cari said 1 firefighter was also injured in the explosion, but not seriously. 10 teams were at work on the site, he added. Police said they were checking the whole surrounding area to make sure that nobody was injured and blocked in the buildings close to the explosion. U.S. President Donald Trump answered questions from reporters early Friday at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. According to Associated Press, he had just landed at the base near Washington, returning from an event in Iowa. Trump said he will speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday. He also said that he is very disappointed with the conversation he had with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday. I am very disappointed with the conversation I had today with President Putin, because I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there, he said. Trump has struggled to end a war that began with Russia's invasion in February 2022, a setback for his promises to quickly settle the conflict once he was back in the White House, if not before he took office. He blamed former U.S. President Joe Biden for Russia's war in Ukraine, saying it would not have happened if he were president at the time.
There's a report that you held a secret meeting today with a Saudi official. Are you any closer on expanding the Abraham Accords? Any news from that?
Yeah, we are. It's one of the things we talked about, the Abraham Accords. Now that Iran has been taken out in terms of a nuclear threat, and they have been completely taken out, at least for a very long time, I think a lot of people are going to be joining the Abraham Accords. We have 4 great countries already, but we're going to have a lot of people, I think, joining the Abraham Accords. Yeah.
Some polls have shown the big, beautiful bill to not be very popular. I'm wondering, how confident are you in being able to sell it to the American people?
Yeah, I think it's very popular. It does many things, but one of them is the biggest tax cuts in our country's history. And that alone makes it very popular. The only poll that was done was a Democrat poll, and they'll ask 2 of the little bit controversial things, but good things for the country. The tax cuts alone, so it's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, and that alone makes it very, very popular.
Mr. President, can you talk a little bit about your expectations for the celebration next year? Obviously, a bit of a preview tonight. You talked about the Patriot games. You highlighted a possible UFC title fight at the White House. What are your expectations for the celebration next year, sir?
Well, I think it's going to be a great celebration. It's going to be as big a celebration as we've ever had. And remember, we have the World Cup and we have the Olympics also. So we have that, plus we have 250. I think it's going to be a wild time. It's going to be a great time for this country. It's going to be the golden age. Thank you.
What's next for Russia and Ukraine? Are you speaking to Zelensky tomorrow? And what are you hoping the next?
I'm speaking to President Zelensky tomorrow, early in the morning, and I'm very disappointed with the conversation I had today with President Putin, because I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there, and I'm very disappointed. Well, it's not. I'm just saying, I don't think he's looking to stop, and that's too bad. This is Biden. This isn't me. This is Biden's war. It wouldn't have happened if I were president. It wouldn't have happened. So, I in one way I hate to get too involved because it's Biden's war. And I got stuck in the middle of it, just like I did with immigration and a lot of other things that they screwed up. But I was